Just like a braid with me. I try to do one every single time I do my hair. I love how they came out this time. They're nice and small, just how I like them. I also like that like the parts are good if I want to hold it up and you can see the parts, but they're also like very hidden because of how many braids I have. Braiding my hair, and I'm not going to be talking through most of this video, but I do want to talk through like a few points with you before we get into this video. First and foremost, all the hair that I use for the human hair and the braiding hair will be linked down below. I buy everything online, so those links are available for you down below. The exact shade I use is the product that I linked. So if you're wondering like what color braiding hair does she use, it's linked, like the exact shades. I will have everything like fully detailed out in the description for you. As far as products, from clips to the gel that I use to the combs and brushes that I use, all of those will be linked down below. I am doing knotless boho braids. I feel like that's like kind of like my norm. I don't want to say my signature, but like it's just been like my norm for like the past 2 or 3 years. I've really like haven't like perfected it, but I'm really comfortable doing them. Does it take a long time? Yes. It is currently Thursday, April 18th, and it's 4:22 p.m. and I have been braiding off and on since like, I won't say 7, since like 10 a.m. So these are how many braids I've gotten done. It is 4:30 right now. They're looking good so far. They're looking nice and full, just how I like my braids to look. The parts are looking nice. And I do want to talk about a couple of things. The first thing I always do is I start in the front. I never start in the back. I know a lot of people will be like, why don't you start your hair back here and braid forward? People ask me that even when I flat iron my hair. They're like, why don't you flat iron the back first and then go to the front? I've never done that with my hair. I always start with the front just because like that's when I'm going to take the most time to be the most diligent to make sure my parts look right and everything like that. To prep my hair, I'll insert some shots here, but I just have like a thread rack that I use to separate the hair out. And then I wash my bundles of hair. Again, these bundles, sorry, will be linked down below. Wow, somebody really slammed the door down my heart. As far as how many packs of hair I use, I'm not finished yet, but I'm thinking I'm only going to use 2 packs of hair. I have 1 pack of color number 2 and 1 pack of color number 1. I typically use color... Why is it slamming the door so hard? I typically use the color 1B, but they didn't have it in stock when I went to order it. So I used a pack of 2 and a pack of 1, and I'm just intermixing them together. And I try to make them like as much of like a square when I'm parting them as possible. No rectangles, no, I'm not doing triangles or anything like that. It's just a square. I used to get the question a lot, how many pieces of hair do I add in per braid as far as like braiding hair? I usually add in like, for most of my braids, it's like 4 pieces of hair, like of braiding hair. And as far as like the human hair, I just like really like alternate it. I don't like there to be like a rhyme or reason or a pattern to it, because the point of this look is supposed to be like really like boho, very like chill, undone, relaxed type of look. So I don't add in a certain amount of human hair for the boho look per braid, but for like the braid itself or braiding hair, I usually add in about like 4 pieces of hair. As far as like parting, I always get asked so many questions about like, how do you part your hair? So what I do is I section off the front half of my hair and then the back, and then I section that into 2. So I wear my hair in a middle part. So as you can see, I have it parted down the middle. And I feel like I've gotten that part like pretty straight, pretty good. I probably like when I come up here to like this last section, I'll try to like clean this up a little bit more because it can get like a little wonky. When I start braiding a section, I pre-part all of the rows. So as you can see, I have all these clips in. It's because they're all of my rows that I have pre-parted. You might have seen YouTube, or not YouTube, Instagram videos or TikToks where someone's braiding and you end up with like a tiny sliver of hair and you're like, what am I supposed to do now? Because you've braided all your hair up. You're not gonna undo all those braids, so now you're just like left with like trying to figure out what to awkwardly do with like these like pieces of hair. I've seen people cut out like little tiny rows of hair because they're like, I don't know what to do with it. So to avoid that, pre-parting the hair makes it easy for me, because then I know that each row is sectioned out and I'm not going to be left with like a little tiny little sliver of hair or something somewhere, you know. I also do that though when I go to each row. So I've pre-parted each row, but then when I go into that row, I will already part this hair into the braids, so that while I'm braiding this row, I'm not ending up with like, oh dang, there's like a little tiny sliver of hair left at the end here. Now I have to find a way to work it into like a braid back here or a braid in front of it so that this hair is captured. One thing I always get questions on too is like, how do you see the back? A mirror, a hand mirror. I'm literally just holding my mirror up and looking, and I'm taking a rat tail comb and I'm like back here like parting my hair and looking in the mirror while looking in this mirror at the same time. So nobody is parting my hair for me in the back. Nobody is looking for me in the back. I'm just using a mirror and what I can see. And what I have to say is like, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I get plenty of compliments online from you guys and in real life about how nice my braids look. No one has ever come up to me and said, oh, but this part is like not really straight like that. Don't try to spend all your time on parting. Like, do the best you can, but don't spend too much time on it. Honestly, this comes from like, my hair looking like this comes from years of practice. I'm sure the first time I did this style, there were like some mistakes that I probably wouldn't make now. So don't beat yourself up if you're trying to do this yourself and you're like, well, my hair doesn't look like Niara's, like her parts look so good. I've been doing this style myself for 4 years now, and I get better and better at it. Each summer I learn something new that like I will and won't do when I'm braiding my hair. So don't beat yourself up if this is your first time trying to do it, or if you're still like, if you've been doing it and you're still learning things, whatever. Do I use gel to part my hair? And when I tell people no, they're like, why not? Because to me, putting a layer of gel at the base of my hair and on my scalp after I've freshly cleaned it takes away from the longevity of the style. For me, I always get compliments and like comments about how neat my style looks and how like natural it looks. Like, everybody knows it's not my hair, but the thing is like, when you put that gel on it and like plaster it down and there's that shine and whatnot, like, does it look crisp and clean? Yes, 100%. I get that. But it also doesn't look realistic. It doesn't look real. It doesn't look like your hair. That's just my personal opinion. You do what you want. The gel that I use, this is the Shine and Jam conditioning gel, regular hold. I'll have this link below. If you don't want to use this, use whatever you have or whatever works for you. But the one condition I will say is it should not have alcohol in it. So look in the ingredients, because alcohol is the ingredient that is going to make it flake up. It's going to make your hair dry. I feel like those are all the questions that I would get about this hair. Oh, how long does it take me? Or no, how long are my bundles I got? The exact bundles I link below is the exact length that I got. How long does this take me? It really depends on how many breaks I take. I could have been much further along by now today if I hadn't like had to take so many breaks, but I did. And I'm okay with that because I took 2 days off work. We're gonna start braiding. By the time this video goes up, I am hoping that my braid guide will be ready for you guys to purchase. If it is, something should come up on the screen here and I will have it linked down below for you. And what the braid guide is gonna do is gonna have really in-depth details on like how I add the hair in, how I start the braid off, all that type of stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you just get you some popcorn, get you something to drink, girl. Throw this on, some background music. I'm gonna try to put some like summertimey like jazz music on, and we're gonna braid. front half yesterday. I said this in my last braiding video and I'm going to say it again here, and I'm saying it with love. Anybody that is new here, I just have a very I feel like I have like a dark sense of humor. It's a little bit sarcastic. I'm not counting a single braid that's in my head. Don't ask me how many braids are in my head. A lot. That's the only answer I can give you. I'm not counting them. So that's the first question that I thought of. How many bundles do I use, or how much of the bundle do I use? I'm not done braiding yet, so I can't tell you like right now how much of the bundle I'm gonna use, but I do feel like I'm gonna end up using like majority of it, like seeing the way that I'm going. As you can see, I've started in the back and I've started parting, and I will say I do feel like I do a pretty decent job parting back there. It's nothing but me and a hand mirror. That is it. Y'all, I had fully intended on like putting on some makeup and stuff when I was done. I'm not about to. There's a lot of braids. I'm not counting these braids. Don't even don't even ask me. Guess, okay? I can't even guess. I just finished. I used almost all of the 2 packs of hair, so I would say I used like maybe like 1.5, 1 3/4 packs of hair. I used all of my bundles, or I won't say bundles. I bought 1 bundle. I used the whole thing. So what my hair looks like, I'm gonna turn around so you can see. I feel like it came out really good. This is what it looks like. I feel like I did really good on the parting. This is how long they are. So I would say these are about like waist length. Like they hit like right at my hips. But I'm about to go dip them, and then I have some mousse that I want to put on them, so I'm going to come back and show you guys. But I'm loving how they look so far, how they just look so like not messy necessarily, but just a mixture of hair and braid. While we're letting our water heat up over there, sorry if you guys can hear it, there are a few things I'm gonna do to my scalp now that I have just finished braiding my hair. Okay, so the first thing I have here is this Orbe Serene Scalp Oil Control Treatment Mist. So since my scalp is clean, the best way I found that this works for me is I spray this on my scalp as soon as I'm done braiding and let it dry down. So, and to me it doesn't matter that my braids get wet, because I'm about to wet them anyway. Obviously I'm about to dip the ends, but I'm about to wet the scalp too. This is like to moisturize my scalp though, because I do feel like it's a little dry after I've braided my hair, because before I braid my hair, I don't really put too many oils on my scalp. I did a little bit. If you watch like my prep, I put a little bit of this oil on my scalp, but I don't put a lot. So just a very little bit, just so my scalp isn't dry and everything. And now I think the water should be done boiling, so I'm gonna go check it. All right, we've dipped our hair. One thing I will say is that when I braid my hair, I like to make sure my braids are like full and thick when they're braided. Then I take my mousse. This is the Matrix Setter Mousse. This is the first time I'm using this mousse. I usually use the olive oil mousse, but I have this one and I don't have any of the other one. And it smells so good. Oh, this mousse smells amazing. It smells way better, sorry, olive oil, than that olive oil mousse. So that's it. Those are my braids. The braid guide, if it's not up already and linked in the description, it'll be linked down there, or it'll be up and soon up. I just can't even talk right now. I'm delirious. But that's it. Let me, oh, my lips are so dry. I've just been sitting here braiding. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope, you know, this was helpful. New updated braid tutorial. I'll try to do one, and not even a tutorial, but just like a braid with me. I try to do one every single time I do my hair. I love how they came out this time. They're nice and small, just how I like them. I also like that like the parts are good if I want to hold it up and you can see the parts, but they're also like very hidden because of how many braids I have, which I love. I just want it to look like hair. I don't want it to look like, you know, scalp and parts, you know, even though scalp is on full display. It's lying down. We found a new mousse. We're done, y'all. This is how I know I'm getting old, because I done booked me a massage tomorrow because the way my neck and my back is hurting. I don't know how many more years of this I got left in me.